verses 12 to 14, there are approximately 8 beautiful points, eloquent points, describing the development of the human embryo in a very unique and eloquent way. First and foremost, the Quran mentions nutfa. Now, according to classical dictionaries like Lisan al-Arab and academic dictionaries like Lane's Lexicon, this word can mean a singular entity which is part of a bigger group of its kind, a single sperm from a collection of millions of sperms, and it can also refer to one female egg from a group of many other eggs in the ovaries.
Hamza Tzortzis, senior researcher and lecturer at the Islamic Education and Research Academy, claims that a term used in the Quran called nutfa is defined by the 14th century classical lexicon named Lisan al-Arab as a singular entity from a bigger group of its kind, and that this definition means that the term nutfa refers to the sperm, ovum, and even the zygote, and not merely and purely to semen, which was considered as the reproductive material by those in the ancient world. Hamza's goal is for us to be impressed by a 7th century book making a reference to sperm cells and ovum and even the zygote long before scientists discovered them. Of course, then some of us decided to check Lisan al-Arab, and we could not find any definition even remotely close to a singular entity from a bigger group of its kind.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So now you've heard what this person has said, that nutfa does not mean a single entity from a bigger group. This is actually a very poor attempt at trying to discredit the Quran miracle. And what is unfortunate is that some Muslims are starting to believe what he's saying. Now, for a person who has a basic knowledge of the Arabic language, the arguments presented sound quite convincing. But a more deeper analysis of the claim reveals a big flaw, this person's argument. And this is based on a superficial understanding of the Arabic language. Just because somebody knows Arabic, modern Arabic, and has access to a dictionary, does not mean that he is an authority in the Quran. And he's saying, because the fact that Lisan al-Arab does not mention that a nutfa is a singular entity, it means that it is not a singular entity. Now, little does he know that actually the word nutfa is on a specific pattern, which is on the pattern of fu'la. So this pattern that nutfa is upon is actually associated with the individual parts produced by the associated verb. So let me just explain this. So we have the verb, for example, qata'a, which means he cut. Doesn't matter what he cut, but he cut something. If you take the 3-layer root, the qaf, the ta, and the ayn, and you put it on the pattern of fu'la, you get quta'a. So quta'a is actually a noun that denotes an individual part that is cut. So a person could cut something in a number of pieces. One of these pieces is called quta'a. This pattern, fu'la, is also used for singular parts of the body. So for example, judhma. Judhma means one part of the body. We have the noun mudgha. Mudgha means one lump of flesh, or one chewed up lump of flesh. And similarly, we have nutfa, which is one part of seminal fluid. Now, this science of word structure is called sarf, morphology. And this is actually studied before one gets into Arabic grammar. Now, being a student of the Arabic language, one must know this science pretty well. A question one might ask is, why doesn't Lisan al-Arab mention this? It's because this is actually knowledge which the author assumes one already knows. And this is why the Lisan al-Arab, actually one of the meanings that's found in Lisan al-Arab is al-ma'u al-qalil. So a small amount of water. Because we know that seminal fluid is made up of a large number of sperm cells. And these sperm cells actually are surrounded by water. And this is what actually the sperm cells use to travel to the egg. Without this water, they will not be able to travel. So it's amazing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually chose the word nutfa, which has the meaning of fluid, which is like water, that is used by the sperm cell. So in the Quran we have words such as ma and mani, which is used for seminal fluid. And then we have one individual part of this fluid, which is called a nutfa. So let's just briefly about that. وصلى سيد محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.